try not to knock my
Your phone?
my phone over.
Yeah.
But I think we're good here. All right, I'll sync up audio. Welcome to another episode of the Boogie podcast. I'm sitting here with Alexandra Rinder, also known as the Fronton Queen now,
Yeah.
since a couple of days.
Yeah, actually, I'm really happy about that. That's been 2 years I've been fighting for that, so
You have?
yeah.
Well, wouldn't this be the third year? This was the
Yeah,
third go,
the last
right?
the last 2 years I got second, so
Yeah.
if I would have not win that final, I think that would have hurt a lot.
Yeah? You seem pretty stoked about it. Like, I don't know if I've seen you yet that happy in bodyboarding, since I've been around at least.
Yeah, well, I think the only time was maybe when I won my titles and my first World 2 contest back in Chile, but I think this contest means the most to me. It's home, like it's back home. I live here. I was born and raised here. And I think that's why it makes it so special and important for me.
Yeah.
Just to know that the crowd outside, like mostly of them, you know them actually by seeing them day by day. So that's really cool, and just really stoked about that.
Yeah, it's quite a wave. Like, how often do you surf Fronton when you're here? Like, because do you live on Gran Canaria or are you on Tenerife?
No, I'm living nearly 2 years now here in Gran Canaria,
Okay.
and I'm planning to stay a little bit more. So, yeah, I surf it every time there's waves. Every time
Cool.
there's a swell up there, I drive up and I'm there with the boys, and yeah, just hoping there to be more girls in the water because I'm actually the only one when I'm there.
Yeah.
Yeah, just it's pretty cool. Like when I first came here, I was living here 5 years ago, so every time I come, like you kind of know the people, so I always felt like home here too, and it's cool that they respect me in the water. So yeah, just happy to live here and to get the chance to surf this wave as much as possible.
Because there is a big lineup. Like, there are a lot of local riders, and they're all men, who are kind of dominating that space. I mean, how hard has it been as a woman to be able to get the amount of practice that you feel you need to actually perform out there? Like, how hard has that been?
I think like I got the respect of the boys since I'm pretty small, because I think I have to say thanks to my brother for that, because my brother was always like, hey, it's gonna be big, so either you come and you surf because you're not gonna stay outside, or you stay at home.
Yeah.
So I think like seeing that the boys were like, okay, she's won more in the water, like
Yeah.
it should be like that always, but like I've always gained the respect of the boys, I think, pretty soon. And like in the Canaries, it's a big community of bodyboarding, but actually we all know each other, like at least in the ways we surf. And yeah, I just feel comfortable in the water. Like I don't feel the pressure of being the girl in the water, and I should get less waves, so not the bigger waves. And actually one thing was pretty cool, and not so long ago there was like this set coming, but the boys were too much like to the right of Fronton, and I was paddling actually up to get into the peak to line up, and Amari just like looked at the wave, looked at me, and he was like, go, and I'm like, whoa, it was like a pretty big wave, and I was like, well, if Amari says, I have to go, you know, like. And yes, just like things like that, I think gain the respect of the boys, and I just feel good in the water with them. I'm having fun. One more of them, I feel.
How important are those moments where, and this seems to be a normal thing, not just for women, but also for the guys who aren't from here, when we come here and, you know, often a foreigner like myself or whoever is here from Australia, like, there'll be moments out at Fronton where all of the locals aren't in the right position, and it may just only be like a metre that they're not in the right position, so they're not going to go that wave, but it's an epic Fronton wave, and they say go, and that's like the only time you ever get a local telling you to go a wave, is when they certainly can't make that wave. How important to you, or do you feel like that, because these are very specific moments in time that don't come along very often, how important are those moments in building up the respect in a lineup? What happens if you don't go?
Yeah, that's what I was like trying to say a little bit. I think maybe I think it's not only here. When I think about the pipeline, it's the same. Like maybe
totally.
there's just a closeout coming, and they go, and if you don't go, you're like, well, we told you like to go. Like we gave you a wave, even though you know it was a closeout. You're feeling like, man, do you want me to die?
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, I've never been in that position of telling someone to go if it's a bad wave, or like you say, like the locals say that. But yeah, maybe it's important to just go, you know, but on the other side, it's your life. If you don't want to risk it because you see that you're not going to make that wave because you don't feel comfortable, just don't go, you know. I think there's more important things in life than gaining the respect of a local.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But it does set you back if you don't go. Like it's gonna knock back your progress out there.
Or I don't know, maybe yes, maybe it's really crowded, it could be. Never been in that position, but it could happen, yeah. I think that's one lucky thing about being a girl, because if they tell me to go and I'm not local and I don't go and I pull back, they go like, you should have gone, but we can understand.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Being a guy, maybe on that side, that card, you know, it's still like that, you know, the feeling. If you're a boy, you're like, oh yeah, you should take the bigger ones, you know.
Is this like a macho thing? Like you feel like the boys take the bait because we want to be part of the big boys club or something, and you know, is this a difference with males and females in the water in this circumstance, you think?
Well, you don't see that many girls on the level of boys. We don't, like, we're a smaller community. I never felt like that, because I always felt like if he can take the wave, I can take the wave. Till I surf this wave. Yeah. Like there's some points where I feel that's my limit, but everybody has their limits. It doesn't matter if you're a boy or a girl. I surf with friends of mine that are not on the level of the boys that surf this wave. Yeah. So on that point, when we go surfing and it's bigger, they're the ones pulling back, not me. Yeah. So it doesn't really depends if you're a girl or a guy. It just, I think, depends on your level and the limits you put yourself on saying I can and I will ride this wave, or I don't feel ready for it, or I just don't, it's not for me. Like I prefer surfing smaller and comfortable waves instead of like, I don't know, bigger waves. Yeah. I think we shouldn't like difference about being a guy or a girl, just like the level. Everybody has a different level and they sets different limits to in their surfing, I guess.
Sure. With this type of wave, you know, you won Fronton, and you know, to be honest, you looked like you were always going to win it from the first heat. You know, like there was a stronger performance from you the whole way. You were getting the higher scores. You were picking off the stronger waves. There was no denying that you were the favourite, even though you hadn't won it 2 years in a row, and this was the first time you've actually won it. But you seem to be the person most likely to win. The women's tour kind of goes to different places throughout the year, and you know, it's been a while since you've won a world title. Even though I know I can speak for myself and I can speak for a lot of the other guys, that we all kind of expect you to keep winning them. But you and also Isabella, who are also very, like, Isabella's a really high technical standard of rider. She's doing some big airs, she's doing some really crazy stuff. Neither of you have been able to kind of stop the kind of forces from outside, you know, whether that be Joanna taking it in, you know, 2017, Ayaka last year, Sari this year. What is it about the tour, or what is it about you that hasn't been able to kind of seal the deal these last few years?
Yeah, I think it's most likely, like, well, in competition, you know, that's always a good contest, it's always a bad contest. Yeah. This year, I know it most likely started from me. Like, the start of the year wasn't the easiest for me. I think doing the tour so many years, I really felt when Ian after Rica posted that post on Instagram about him struggling through mental ups and downs. I actually wrote him a private, and I didn't make it so open as he did. Maybe it would have helped before, but I decided to keep it for myself and for my family. But yeah, it's just, I think you just go to ups and downs when you do so many years the tour, and you feel like, okay, this has been like 2 or 3 years I haven't won the title. You have to keep on being strong the whole time. You always have to be up there, you know. That's why everyone expects from you, and you just sometimes don't feel like it. And the bad thing is that you sometimes just lose the confidence of yourself. Like, I know who I am, I know how good I am, without being arrogant and saying this. No. But that's a bad thing, that you sometimes really lose your focus, and that's sad, you know. So I decided to, like, Chile was really difficult for me. Like, the start of the year before competing was a little bit difficult. Maybe I should have started working on it before, But coming back from Chile was when I really realized, okay, sit down and really think about what you want to do in your future, like make a plan.
Yeah.
Something that's not only bodyboarding, something that's going to make you happy too. So that's what I've been working with myself, my parents, my trainers, and really just myself to like look forward to compete. And that's what happened. Like then I arrived in Sindra, which is a wave that, and like for me, it's the most difficult on tour. You know, like, and I had Ayak on the way to the final. I had like really big names, which in those conditions are way better than me. But I felt like I don't care. Like I can surf this waves too, and I know that I can beat them. And that's how I haven't felt for like maybe 2 years now.
Okay.
So that I think that has made the difference in the last 2 years, and I feel like I'm on a good way back, like coming up. I think that's why like this contest is like mentally really, really important for me too. So I'm just looking forward for next year, because I know that I have more things now than only the tour, because I'm studying. I want to like work a little bit too. Like there's more things than only the tour. It only has been the tour in my life. So when you don't win, it hurts more.
Sure.
If there's other things in life, you still have the same laughter and you will put the same strength into it, but you don't like, you know that you have something else that makes you happy.
Yeah. What are these new things that are going to make you happy? What are we doing here?
Well, I'm still studying to try to get into the Austrian police.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Only that?
Only that, yeah.
Austrian police.
Austrian police, yeah. I would go in like as an athlete.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's actually like kind of a sponsorship.
Like it's a program for athletes to get into the police force.
Yeah, and then you study 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I have to go 1 month a year to Austria.
Okay.
That would be pretty cool. It's really difficult too, so I'm starting to get into that.
Right.
And
wow.
I will start working here.
Alex with a gun.
Yeah. Imagine if I'm dangerous now. Imagine
Whoa.
No, yeah, that's actually really cool, and that's really cool from Austria that they're giving me this chance. So I really hope to make it.
Wow.
That will set and open up some big doors for me.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, and then.
But will those doors only be in Austria?
Well, I would. The thing is, I will have a salary, so I will be studying, which makes you always constantly have to like be working, like brain working, studying. So that helps too. And I want to study. I want to work in front of the camera.
Right.
So I will use that to help me to pay this. To study. I don't know how you call it in English. It's like acting.
Oh, okay.
And
so wait, so acting
Yeah.
and the police.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't see. I'm missing. Am I missing something? Like, what exactly are you doing? You're gonna go and study to join the police force in Austria.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's this other acting pathway that you're going to study, and bodyboarding is also kind of here.
Yeah.
Like, you're still going to do the tour and try and get more world titles. This is like a 5-year journey.
Mm-hmm.
What happens at the end of that journey? What exactly do you see happening?
Well, it's 5 years from now.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what's the point? Like, are you going to be a cop in Austria, like,
I will always have
telling people, like, stick them up?
I would always have it's not my main
okay.
goal to be a police officer there.
Okay.
But on the other side, maybe there's a chance to like work with something to do of the Austrian police here, maybe in the consul or something. Okay. So at the end, it's just, everything is with contacts. If I get the chance to work with something here.
Yeah.
But it's a good chance because you never know where you're from here for 5 years. Of course, for me it would be really difficult to live in Austria because there's no ocean. Yeah. But it's my biggest dream would be like working in front of a camera, like maybe that's a sport, how do you call it?
Reporter or something like that?
Yeah, sport reporter or something. Okay. Yeah, that's more what I see myself doing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it's always good to have another thing there.
Yeah, totally. Totally. Is it like a complicated thing to be Austrian, but also like home has been the Canary Islands since when?
I was born and raised.
You were born here, right? Right? So like, how does it feel to kind of go down a pathway that's very Austrian versus, like you are a Canary Islander in in most likely culture and experience. Like, is there a conflict or a tension between the two that you experience in your life?
Not really. Like, well, you can tell that, like, my family that lives there is like has nothing to do like with how we live here or how we are. You can really tell like they grew up in the country where it's cold, whereas like Norway's they're mountains, like totally different. But I actually enjoy it because I get to go to visit my family or my friends or to study in Vienna.
Yeah.
So I get to live that for a little bit. Like, sometimes it's good to just disconnect and then like be somewhere else. But yeah, I could never imagine it. Like, I need bodyboarding in my life. I need the ocean in my life, and that will always be like that. You know, like bodyboarding has like put me through my best moments in life, and is the thing that most makes me happy. So it's something I could never leave. You know, and no way.
Yeah. No, it's and when you're in Austria, is it like how much time do you actually spend there with that, like in that culture and kind of
the most time I've been there was 10 days because I had to study 3 or 4 and then we went skiing.
Yeah, cool.
And that was hard.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I was like, well, maybe because I'm skiing, but the last days I was like, I need water.
Yeah.
Like, I need waves. I need to be surfing. So I think 1 week it's like the top. So if I get into the police, it's gonna be really interesting to be a month there studying.
Yeah.
Maybe because you're studying, it's different. Like you're the whole day in school. So
sure.
Yeah.
It'll be a bit of a change for you for sure. But just to recap that kind of discussion a little bit, like, so you're not like relocating your life into the Austrian world. Like, you're not geographically shifting.
No.
You're just going to be studying in an Austrian context.
Yeah.
But also still pursuing these kind of, and you're not going to be leaving this behind because
no way. They're like, that actually will help me more to achieve, like, to still do the tour, to travel, and do like projects, like maybe filming around. That's gonna actually help me to keep on like doing bodyboarding. It's not a thing that I'm gonna study that, I'm gonna leave bodyboarding, because they actually want me there because of bodyboarding.
Yeah, okay.
That's like, it's kind of a sponsorship, but you're studying.
Yeah, okay.
So,
but it's for elite athletes.
Elite athletes. Yeah. As long as they like accept me as a professional athlete, they will support me.
Okay.
So it's actually kind of a sponsorship, but at the end of those 5 years, you get the title of a police officer.
Yeah.
And then for the next 10 years, you can decide if you want to work there or not.
Is part of this, all of these kind of future opportunities, is part of this about being, because I noticed when I was doing the commentary at the event that you're identifying as Austrian in your...
Stacked up,
right? Is that part of this kind of broader, like if you weren't, because you are a Spanish citizen, I'm guessing, because you were born here or not?
No, Austrian, German citizenship.
Okay, so you never were, you never have been a citizen of Spain.
I have the residence.
Yeah, you're a resident of Spain. Okay, cool. There isn't like an automatic citizenship when you're born somewhere in Europe?
Yeah, well, I don't have a
passport.
I don't have a Spanish passport.
Okay, cool. So then
I
it is
could
just
have
what
had
it is.
But I couldn't have Austrian Spanish, I think. Like
that,
okay.
Yeah. So that's what it is. All right, cool. All right, so that explains that little bit, because when I was commentating, I was like, and writing some press releases and stuff, I was like, she's Austrian here, but I don't really know if that's how she wants to be referred to. But is that how you really, is this how you refer to yourself? I am Austrian?
One part, like it's a big part of my life. My dad, like, it's blood, you know, and I feel like I feel identified as like maybe in the head more than like, I don't know how I act, like it's really Canarian, but like there's some things that are like really Austrian. So on one side, on the other side, all my bodyboarding career is from here, you know. So
totally.
At the end, it's more because my nationality is Austrian, but like on the APB, it's a private tour, so you can put Canary Islands the same as they put, instead of France, they put
Reunion and Basque and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I mean, is it? What do you recognise in yourself? Certain things that are very Austrian versus very Canarian? Like, you know, do you see different attributes in yourself that are kind of constant?
Not really constant, but there's some things like because back home we only talk German, and I live with my parents.
Yeah.
Like that, I've been grown in that community, you know.
Yeah.
So there's like things, like seeing things in a different way that maybe a Canarian would see, you know.
Yeah.
So and that I can like recognize that I'm like not fully Canarian.
Yeah.
But then on the other side, everybody like just when I open my mouth and like when I act, everybody's like, "You're definitely born in the Canaries."
Yeah, yeah. Is it coming back to the water and the lineup and things like that? Was it ever a challenge being an Austrian in the water to begin with? Was there any kind of distance, or were you always just accepted as the girl from the Canaries in the water?
Oh yeah, no. Here is there's a lot of people here that have parents from outside. So at the end, if you're born and raised here, you want more. You know?
Yeah.
Like, of course, like when I was small, I couldn't say the R.
Oh yeah, sure.
In Spanish,
Yeah.
I said it the German way.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was like the thing to laugh about when
Yeah,
I was talking,
sure.
you know. But no, I was always accepted as one Canarian more.
Yeah. Back to bodyboarding. With this kind of moment now, you've just won this big event. You did mention you're about to go and get a tattoo.
Yeah.
So like, to explain the tattoo so the listener and the viewer can kind of get it. What are you getting?
Like as I said, this contest has been since they put it in the APB IBA tour, and then women's has been my biggest dream to win this contest.
Yeah.
And as I said, like personally and mentally, it was really important for me to step up again and believing in myself. So I'm gonna make this, because it's Fronton Queen and Fronton King. I'm gonna make the little crown with the date of of the day that the final was.
How big are we talking? How big is this tattoo?
Still don't know. Still gotta see. I have a really good friend who does this tattoo.
Yeah.
So it depends on how it looks and how he will design it. I'll
Yeah.
decide how big it is and where I will put it.
Okay. Fun. And you don't know where you're going to put it yet?
I was always thinking here, like on my ribs.
Yeah.
But it depends on the way it's gonna look like. You know,
Sure.
like maybe it looks better on another part of my body.
Do you have any scars from out there yet, like in your life surfing there? Like, are there any significant damage to you that's been done in the water?
In Fronton,
Yeah.
luckily not.
Luckily not.
Not like not big things. I think one of the biggest was Hawaii, where I smashed my face.
Yeah.
Just like small scars.
That's what this place does, though, doesn't it? Like, it's like I keep on talking to the boys that I'm staying with, and I just keep on noticing little cuts and slices all over me.
Just trying to stop. Yeah, stop it. Yeah.
It's usually just coming in, right?
Yeah. It's not the easiest. Like
Not at all.
to paddle out, it's easier. Jump, boom, you're in.
Yeah.
But yeah, the thing is, a high tide, big waves to come out. It's not the funniest thing.
It's really
to do.
dangerous. Yeah, it's a super intense finishing point. You paddle out there, it's intense because you're like, shit, I'm paddling out Fronton. I'm going to like have to catch waves there if I'm paddling out there, and then you catch waves there and you're like, oh, I'm on a big wave here, and then you get to the end of your surf, you're like, okay, I've got to get a wave in, and then it's like it never stops being intense. I find it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, you're never like really comfortable. Like because you're always like, I'm always like, my heart just pumping really fast. You're like, is it gonna get me? Am I gonna get out with this wave, or is the set going in my head? So
exactly. How long do we persist with this mild shower? You've got a good hat on, so you're not really feeling it.
I know.
Cool. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I got my hood on now.
Yeah.
Maybe watch your phone. It's been raining here in the Canaries. I mean, I just thought it was mostly a dry place, but it seems to be delivering some moisture.
Yeah, well, like
usually it's pretty dry, right?
And it actually just started this week because Joanna called me asking, how's the weather? Like, should I bring winter clothes or should I bring summer clothes? And I was like, well, we still have 40 degrees because we had a heat wave before she came. And then like you guys arrived and it started raining, like bad weather. So I was like, nice.
Yeah, exactly. But it's all right. It's nice. It's refreshing, I guess.
Yeah.
With surfing on this island, well, you didn't actually grow up on this island, right? So you grew up in Tenerife.
Yeah.
And like, there's probably spots there that you can't talk about, but like, how does that place not necessarily compare, but like, because, a lot of people's experience of the Canary Islands in a broad sense is mostly kind of focused around Fronton. Mm-hmm. They only ever really see images of that. There's a couple of waves here behind us now that are kind of definitely not secrets, and they're nice little waves to practice on and stuff like that, but they're not the Fronton type. Growing up in Tenerife, was it really possible for you to prepare for this kind of wave in your life, or is there really just nowhere else like it?
Well, there's kind of the same type of waves, like heavy waves.
Yeah.
But like, let's just say Fronton is Fronton. But
Yeah.
yeah, we have really good waves too. We've grown up like at the end. Look, Diego Cabrera comes from Tenerife.
Yeah, he does.
There's some waves at the north, as I can't say the names.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
There are some waves, yeah.
So there is some gnarly stuff there as
yeah.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, there's one really good ride, and I think Diego prefers it than this ride. You know.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of waves, but then we have Lanzarote too. We have La Santa Lanzarote. We have like every island, I think, has a lot of waves, but I think the most consistent and heavier waves are here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it does prepare you for here to an extent. Then you're saying like you have been able to prepare for this your whole life.
Oh yeah. Like I've been surfing like heavy waves since I kind of started.
Yeah.
And then when I was 15, I moved here for a few months. So that's when I first surfed Fronton.
Yeah.
And I actually felt ready when I was here. So yeah, we do have those waves that kind of prepare you to serve a heavy slab like this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely not the same.
Yeah. But it's a lot of fun growing up there. Like, I mean, were there a lot of other female bodyboarders in Tenerife when you grew up, or was it still mostly just the boys and you were just part of that gang?
Yeah, it was mostly just boys. Like when I was really small, there was like a few girls, but then they just kind of stopped competing and surfing.
Yeah.
But it was actually kind of always me.
Yeah.
With the boys.
Yeah. Has that made a critical difference? Like, how do you feel that's made in your progression in bodyboarding? Like, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is it a nothing? You know, does it make any difference?
On the bodyboard part, maybe on the radical part, on the technique, and maybe on surfing bigger waves, for sure it would have helped. But I think mostly because of my brother, because he was the one pushing me to get better and to surf bigger.
He's a bodyboarder as well, right?
Yeah, he's a bodyboarder as well. Yeah,
cool.
And maybe like on role models, it would have been nice to have some girls. You know, like we're way different on the way we present ourselves and stuff. So it maybe would have helped a little bit to have another girl growing up with me surfing.
Yeah, sure. It seems like Joanna had a similar experience in her kind of area too. Like she was just kind of always cruising with the boys, bodyboarding. It seems like it was, you know, because there aren't, at least in a lot of places, as many. If we go to Japan, of course, there's more women bodyboarders than men bodyboarders, it seems. But it seems like there is that kind of part of some of you elite riders seem to be kind of on your own a little bit as women in your earlier stages.
Yeah.
I mean, how does it affect? Because it's a unique thing, right? Because when we're younger, a lot of us grow up in gendered groups, right? The girls have all of their girlfriends and they go and do stuff together, and the boys have all their boyfriends and they go and do stuff together and compete and fight and do whatever else happens in your youth. It seems like a unique thing for women bodyboarders, and maybe it's a similar thing in women's surfing, stand-up surfing as well. Like, how does that affect your relationship with men over time? Like, does it change it?
Well, I don't know. At the end, like those you grew up with, at the end, it's gonna be like your family and friends.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe like on one side, when you on the dating side, what they're saying.
That's part of it, right?
Yeah. When you're gonna meet a guy, you actually know how he is. Like you've been growing up with guys the whole time.
Yeah, they're not as
and more if it's in the same
mysterious, probably, right?
Yeah, and more if it's in the same community.
Yeah.
Right? But at the end, everybody's different. But yeah, maybe they see you like a little bit stronger too, because they know that you know how they are. You know,
yeah,
like,
exactly.
Oh, they know like, oof.
You're not going to take their shit as easily, right?
Yeah. So maybe sometimes they feel a little bit more scared about that, but yeah, I think at the end everyone is different. But it does have maybe effect in some moments, you know, like kind of like being grown up, like seeing stuff not every girl sees.
Yeah, exactly, right?
But
and it's usually gross stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because boys are just gross.
Well, not all of you, but yeah.
Yeah, a lot of us are. We're pretty fucked.
No, it's nothing like I've never changed my like childhood growing up like that, you know. But
Yeah.
some stuff you see, it makes it just a little bit harder. You know?
That's a positive way to frame that.
It's the only way I can look at it.
So you're the Fronton Queen now. I think we're kind of coming to a good kind of point to kind of talk about the future. We've kind of got an idea that there's this Austrian police academy thing happening. There's this idea of getting into sports journalism and all that kind of stuff in front of the camera. What do the next kind of couple of years look like for you with bodyboarding? Is it very much focused on your competitive results still, or is there a desire there to do a bit more free surfing? I know a lot of the women kind of grapple, like Ayaka definitely, you know, she won her world title last year and announced that she maybe wouldn't even do the tour because she wasn't exactly happy with how the women were received on tour and the kind of a lot of questions, I guess, around equality and opportunity. How do you feel about the tour, and where does it sit for you in your prioritization?
Well, it's not in their best moment. We all know that, and I don't think it's something that has to be hidden anymore. I think everybody knows it.
Yeah.
You can, I think, really see it. But I'm a really competitive person, so on the one side, we don't feel as like we don't feel the way they should, like they treating us is the right way, but I don't think your guys either. Like it's just the tour that's a little bit unstable, what I think, and we're trying to make it better. But I will be competing for sure. Like I want to win that third world title at least, and maybe more. I'm a really competitive person, and I was thinking about it for sure. Maybe I leave the tour. Maybe it would help to leave the tour for a year or something. But I was like, every time I get into a competition, every time I get to a heat, I'm like, no, I can't live without this. Like, not at least for the next years, you know. It makes me happy. And like if it fills my heart, you know, to be competing, to be traveling with friends and like experience this whole thing, you know. And the only thing is, I need to work on me to not always be so down when I don't make the result I want. You know?
Sure.
And if I get to work on that, I will be really happy. And I will do the tour a few more years. But on the other side, I want to try to do some other projects too, which I'm not
within bodyboarding.
Within bodyboarding,
okay, cool.
Which are not to say.
Public,
because,
okay, cool.
So that's that. There's gonna be some fun things you guys will see in the next years, and I'm looking forward. I have a few things in mind and some few things already talked with sponsors, so I think it's going to be pretty cool, and maybe some new stuff. I think we need some new stuff maybe in the sport. So but you will see me around the tour annoying you guys a little bit more. Never annoying.
Well, from me to you, congratulations
Thank
on
you.
the Fronton Queen result. It's really epic. Really happy for you, and thanks for finally sitting down for a podcast. I'm sure everyone's really stoked to hear from you, and I say good luck on your next world title.
Yeah, see you next year. Let's see where it starts. I'm actually looking forward. I think it's going to be a little bit better.
I think it'll be a fun year at least.
It's going to be, I think South Africa.
Yeah, that's on the cards.
Yeah, that
Not
will
too
be,
big reveals until it's confirmed, but like there's some new events potentially, and also some of the same old ones that'll still deliver what we want.
Yeah. Oh, I hope Arika will be back for girls.
I hope so too.
So
I think
it out there.
Yeah, put it right there. That's for the Arika organisers and the APB to pay attention to. Good luck and thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Oh goodness, I can't really laugh with it.